Hi, today we are going to learn what is sanity testing, which is also a type of testing. Okay, and very important in with respect to the interview point of view. So, I will be explaining you by taking some sort of example. Okay, suppose that okay, you have written 100 test cases, number of test cases. Sorry. You have written how many number 100 test cases, and after getting the first build, uh, what you will do first, you will execute those 100 test cases. Okay, you will do smoke test first, and if this smoke test is passed, then what you will be doing, suppose this is the build one. What is this? Build one. Okay, build number is 1. uh, you have executed 100 test cases. Okay, after smoke test is passed, you have executed 100 test cases, and suppose that you got 10 defects. How many defects you got? 10 defects means what does it mean? 10 failed test cases. Then what you will write? You will isolate these defects. Means you will write these 10 failed test cases in a separate document known as defect report or the defect profile document, and you will send it to the development department or the development team. Okay, what the development team will do, they will rectify those defects, and they will send a new build. That build number will be 2. Build 2 will be sent to you to the testing department or the testing team. What they will do first they will execute those 10 failed test cases. Execute first. What will they will do? First they will execute 10 failed cases. Then after that, what they will do? Okay, after that they have to do the regression testing. Means they have to execute 90 test cases. How many? 90 past test cases. But suppose that they don't have time to execute 90 past test cases, and they are not using any automation tool also. Okay, and if they wanted to execute 90 past test cases, they have to execute manually, and they don't have time. In at that time, what they can do, regression testing has to be done, but instead of executing all the 90 past test cases, they can execute at least those test cases which are related to these 10 test cases. Okay, means that which are related to these 10 test cases, means the test cases relate or the functionality related to these 10 failed test cases should be executed. Okay, because suppose these 10 test cases, these 10 defects, suppose if it is a banking project, and if the 10 test cases came in the savings and the current account module, then we have to execute all the test cases related to those modules. Okay, and the related modules also. Okay, broadly, I mean to say that we have to execute the related functionalities. Okay, we have to check the related functionalities. Means we have to check the test cases related to these 10 test cases. So now the question comes. Okay, what is the question? How can I know what functionality is related to these 10 failed test cases? Okay, so here the RTM comes into picture, the requirement traceability matrix. Okay, in the requirement traceability matrix, we will be having the requirement ID, and it is actually a bidirectional traceability matrix where we'll be having the requirement ID and respective test case IDs. Okay, there we can see, and along with that, there is a very important column between these two columns. That is what is related requirements. Okay, I will show you one sample of the requirement traceability matrix. One second. Mm, okay, here it is. So here, see here, this is business requirement ID, means for each requirement they will be giving a separate ID. Okay, here, see here, this is use case ID, and here this column is very important. Related requirement reference, means suppose that here we will write the requirement ID and what all the requirements which are being related to this requirement. Means if at all any changes is done on the code of this requirement will be affecting these requirements also. So it is what is known as bidirectional matrix, where here we will be having, see here, your the test cases we have to write here. Test case numbers has to be given here. Okay, use so much. Here, see, test cases, the system test cases are there. Here we have to use the system test case IDs, okay, which are related to this functionality. Okay, so here, suppose that here the requirement is, suppose first requirement. For first requirement, we have written two test cases, that is 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 test cases are being written for this requirement. And here this requirement is related to uh, the some third and fourth requirement. Means if you are if anything is done in this requirement will be reflected here. And suppose here there is another requirement, 2 will be there, 3 will be there, 4 will be there. So here my this one is, suppose fourth requirement is uh, suppose anything which is changes will be affected in 1, and here will be 1. Okay, so means this requirement is related to first requirement. Okay, so here it is called the bidirectional traceability matrix, where the requirement will be there and uh, related requirement ID will be there and the test cases number will be there. Okay, so here if suppose I got a defect in the, means test case 3 is failed, suppose, then this test case 3 is failed, means we will go to the RTM. First we will do the retesting and check whether test case 3 is passed or not. Okay, it is passed. Then what you have to do, I don't want to do the entire regression testing. So what I will be doing is I will be checking what is the related requirement. So here I got the third and fourth requirement is related. So for the third requirement, suppose test case number 15 is there, or and 16 is also there, and here it is 17 is written. So and for this it is some 10. Okay, so this means that uh, I have to execute, means this first requirement is also linked with the 3 and 4 requirement, means any changes which is done in the first requirement will also affecting in the third and fourth requirement. So third and fourth requirement, the test case numbers are 15 and 16 and 17. Okay, for fourth requirement. So we have to execute this 15, 16 and 17 along with these three. The executing the related requirement uh, the related requirements which are passed in the previous iteration is nothing but smoke testing. Means executing 15, 16 and 17 test cases is smoke testing. Here why I am not doing complete regression testing? Because of lack of time. Okay, or there may be a delivery time, so I don't want to do the complete regression testing, but at least I have to execute those test cases which are related to the test case which is failed. Okay, so now we will see what is the definition of the sanity testing. Okay, so the purpose of sanity testing is to ensure that all the defects have been fixed and no further issues come in the existence due to these changes. Okay, this is a kind of regression testing with a focus on a few impacted functionalities only. Why you are calling it as regression testing? Because in what regression testing says, executing the past test cases. Here also we are executing the past test cases, but here we are not executing the all the past test cases, but only the test cases which are related to the failed functionalities. Okay, so sanity testing can be done in two situations. One, in the case of enhancement in the functionality, means if at all any new functionality is being added, so we have to test first. Will be testing the new functionality, which is called the new testing. Okay, and then we have to actually do the regression testing. But because of the lack of time, I don't want to do the regression testing. What I will be doing, I will be checking only those I will be executing only those test cases which are being linked with which are linked with the functionality which has been added. Okay, suppose that suppose that we are having a savings account. Savings module. In the savings module, some new functionality is being added, then we have to test the entire savings module. Okay, that is what is smoke testing. If you are testing only the new functionality, that is new testing. If you are testing the savings module, then it is called the sanity testing. But if you are testing the entire application, it is called the regression testing. Okay, now I think you understand what I am trying to say. um, Now what is that? Okay, therefore, it can be applied only on the related modules that has been impacted. Okay, sanity testing is only done by the testing team. Okay, testing team can only do the sanity testing because testing team will be having the test cases. Okay, for doing smoke testing, test cases are not written explicitly, but the test cases are which are already written will be executed. That's what it is. Actually, this is no, this is what is the about the not about the smoke test. This is about the sanity testing. There is a small mistake over here. So in sanity testing, we are not writing any explicit uh, means explicit test cases. We are executing only those test cases which are passed. Okay, but not all test cases, only the related test cases. But in case of smoke test, we explicitly we have to write the test cases for smoke testing. Okay, there is a small mistake, pardon me. Okay, okay, in this testing, first we will check whether the bugs are fixed or not. For that, we will be executing not only the failed functionality but also the related pass functionality also. Okay, uh, it is okay, counted as the subset of regression testing. See, it is called the subset of regression testing. What I already told you. Okay, because in the regression testing we are executing all the test cases which are pass in the previous iteration. But here we are not testing. We are not executing all the past test cases, but we are executing only those past test cases which are being related to the failed test cases. Okay, or the failed functionality. Okay, the same example is given. For example, if there is a banking application, there are two modules, savings and current account. If the tester have raised a defect on the savings module and we got the modified build after doing the changes in the savings module, then we will be checking or executing the failed test cases for this savings module defects and past test cases of its related functionality only. Okay, we will get the functionality and its related functionalities details by RTM or requirement traceability matrix. In the requirement traceability matrix, we will be having the requirement ID and the related requirement IDs also. Okay, where we can from there we can get what are the test cases we can execute. Okay, in the sanity testing. Okay, hope you understood what is a sanity testing. Okay, thank you.